gentlemen.
Hey, how are you?
All right. Great. How you doing? Welcome back. Welcome back.
Hey
How
Sam.
are you?
There's some really good food in there.
Yes.
Yeah, you should go get a plate. Thank you. Amazon. Pretty good. I'm gonna get one of these cookies though. I love that. I can't bake. I'm one of those people that doesn't measure. It's like salt, pepper, whatever. Like I can't. The baking's one of those things like you screw it up, it's just over.
We celebrate in the room.
We had the state of the address,
What?
the city, state of the city address.
Man, I just left the juror. I should have kept on going where I was going.
Well, here now.
Oh, we, oh, no.
Where are we at?
You're,
Oh, jury duty. Yeah. Have you ever been called before? Is your first time? Wow.
I don't know what it's for. Said it's just a federal thing. You should have all day. We did that now. I should have came to that. If I knew you were going to do that for this guy. I'm on space. Oh, yeah. Put your mask on, get that way. Just get your mask on. Appreciate you doing that.
Good, good. Good to meet you first. You okay? Good, good. Okay. Okay, just wait till everyone knows. Okay, good. Sounds good. All right, cool. Yeah, I know, yeah. Thanks, I wasn't sure, is it normally in here? Okay, oh, this is nice, this is a nice one. Yeah. I like it.
seated. Very good. We'll call to order the Douglasville City Council regular meeting for tonight, which is Monday, March the 18th, 2024. Our invocation will be done by the Associate Pastor, Mr. Andrew Dickinson of First Presbyterian Church for the city of Douglasville. It's so good to see you, Pastor. How are you?
Thank you. Likewise, Mayor Robinson.
Good. I haven't seen you in a while. Happy New Year. So please stand for the invocation, and after that, we'll have a pledge of allegiance by Mayor Pro Tem City Councilmember Terry Miller.
As you are able, please join me in prayer this evening. Good and gracious God, we thank you for the gift of this day and for the spring season with the blooming flowers and bird song and new life that we see and hear around us, reminders of your goodness and faithfulness. We thank you for the opportunity to gather here today, for health and strength to do it, and the ability to engage in meaningful work on behalf of our city. We thank you for each and every person that makes up our community. We pray for this meeting this evening, for Mayor Robinson and the councillors who work with her. We remember the various departments that serve our community and those who labor within them on our behalf. Help and guide them and strengthen them for the work that they do. We thank you for the rich diversity of individuals, businesses, charities, and faith-based organizations that make up our city. Help us to recognize the value and role we all play in making Douglasville a great place to live, learn, and work. Empower us with your goodness that we may know the joy of building a community that nurtures the well-being of all our citizens. We ask these things in your holy name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, for leading us in the pledge, and thank you so much, Pastor Dickinson. It's good to see you again. To everyone at First Presbyterian, we said hello. Yes, sir. God bless you and your family. I will go over the rules for our meeting tonight, and then we'll get into the business of our council meeting, which the agendas are outside on the desk if you like a paper one, and or you can follow us on the screen. My name is Rochelle Robinson. I'm mayor of the city of Douglasville. I'd like to welcome you to our legislative work session, our voting meeting. This is our voting meeting. This is a meeting where agenda items that have been discussed last week, we will take action on those agenda items this evening at this regular voting meeting. I'll go over a few protocol issues, and then we will get into the meat of the meeting. I ask that you please keep your comments and presentations on a professional level, dealing with the facts that are important for this governing body to make our decisions. We will not accept comments that are considered by the chair to be of a personal attack on any individual or group of individuals. If you deviate from that warning, we will discontinue the conversation if you're at the microphone by turning the microphone off and ask you to discontinue that type of conversation. Only one person speaking at a time. Please do not applaud or react to speakers. Speak from the audience chair or carry on a conversation when you're at the microphone. We ask that you would just speak directly to the chairperson for that particular item. I'll remind you that we're only required to accept public comments during the public hearings, and if you have any printed material, I ask that you please give that to our city clerk, Ms. Vicki Acker, to my right. She will make copies and pass those copies out to myself and council members. If you have a cell phone or electronic device, I ask that you please put those in silent mode or turn those off until after the meeting so they will not be disruptive. And this is how the agenda items will be handled this evening. The committee chairperson will read that agenda item, then that person representing that agenda item or applicant will make his or her presentation. We ask if this is a public hearing that you only bring new information to the table from what was discussed last Thursday at our legislative work session. This is a meeting where those agenda items will be voted on. After that, the committee chairperson will ask for comments or statements from the audience. You have 20 minutes for those in favor of the item and 20 minutes for those in opposition, but each person has 5 minutes to speak. Prior to approaching the podium, please give your card that you should have filled out. It's a blue speaker card. You fill that card out, hand it to our city clerk, and then come to the podium, give us your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes to talk to us. This is not a debate or question and answer format. We're just here to hear the information and respond later if need be in writing or our staff. I believe that's it. If you, again, this will go a little differently than the meeting for the legislative work session because it's a voting meeting, so we have already discussed those issues. And if there is something on the agenda item that is not covered of a topic that you'd like to speak to us about, under citizens and delegates section, you can come to the microphone and you have 5 minutes to talk to us about that. Anything related to the city of Douglasville that's germane to city business. So now we will get into the meat of the meeting. You can, again, pick one of the copies up outside and follow us on the screen. So we're down to the approval of the agenda. We're at item number 5. I'm going to open the floor for a motion to adopt the regular meeting agenda items for March 18th, 2024.
So moved.
Thank you so much, Councilman Estes. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. It's been properly moved in second to adopt the regular meeting agenda for March 18th, which is tonight, 2024. Do we have any concerns from the council about this agenda item? Any corrections? Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The adoption of the minutes of the regular meeting agenda is taken for tonight's approved. We'll move on to item 6, which is minutes of the February 29th, 2024 legislative work session and minutes of the March 4th, 2024 committee meetings, executive session, and regular meetings. I will open the floor for a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Thank you, Councilman Watts. It's been properly moved in second to approve the minutes of the February 29th meeting with a legislative work session and the March 4th meetings of committee meetings, executive session, and regular meetings. My colleagues, do you all see any adjustments, corrections, deletions, or anything to the minutes? If not seeing any, all those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We'll move on to the consent agenda. That's item number 7. I will open the floor for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. You are on top of everything tonight. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. It's been properly moved by Councilman Estes and second by Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller to approve the consent agenda as presented. Do we have any corrections, concerns, or deletions, additions from council members? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We'll move on to the next committee, which is Economic Development Committee. That's chaired by Mayor Pro Tem City Councilmember Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Economic Development Committee at this time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. We'll move on then to Finance Committee, chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight in finance.
Thank you so much, Coach. Councilman Watts. We'll move on to item number 10, which is Housing and Community Affairs Committee. That is chaired by Councilmember Howard Estes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Housing and Community Affairs Committee has no business this evening.
Thank you so much, Councilman Estes. Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee, chaired by Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, City Councilmember Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee at this time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Personnel and Organization Committee, chaired by Councilmember Howard Estes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Personnel and Organization Committee this evening.
Thank you so much, Councilman Estes. Planning and Development Committee, chaired by Councilmember Nicole Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We do have a few items this evening.
Yes, ma'am.
I think I need to get a little clarification, though. On the item A, it says to consider a request for a special land use permit. Hold on. Sorry,
Jackson
we're
is
just going to
here.
update just a little bit.
Oh, okay.
For a special land use permit for fabricated metal products manufacturing for properties zoned LI, being 41.83 acres at 1401 Blairsbridge Road and land lot 675, District 18, Section 2, Parcel ID 067518200001, application by Dexter Companies in care of Blake Dexter. And Ms. Marissa Jackson is going to chat with us about this one. My apologies, I think I got confused with the order of items here.
No worries. Marissa Jackson, Planning and Zoning Administrator, 6695 Church Street. We have no updates on this item since last meeting.
Okay. And I know there were a few of us that were not here last week, so did any of you have questions about this item? No. Well, then, in that case, I make a motion that we approve item 24-060 as presented.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved and second moved by the Chair, Councilmember Miller, and a second by Councilmember Estes to approve item 24-060. Do we have any concerns, questions, comments from council members? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 24-060 is unanimously approved.
Okay, moving along. Okay, so then let me clarify, make sure I understand. We're going to go ahead and move forward with the item B?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
So items B, C, and D are related. Considering item C, which is the request for variance, staff is requesting to table that item to the April 11th and 15th meeting.
11th and 15th.
The applicant made some changes to the site plan, and since it's a variance, staff is requesting additional time to review the site plan for conformity, just to make sure all the i's are dotted and all the t's are crossed. But we would recommend moving forward with items B and D.
Got it. Okay, thank you for clarifying that for me. All right, then with that being said, item B is to consider a request for a change in zoning from general commercial county to general commercial city. Stop it with the pop-ups. For 0.82 acres at 11941 Veterans Memorial Highway in Land Lot 744, District 18, Section 2, Parcel ID 744-182-0013, application by Nikki Kapoor. And we do have Ms. Marissa Jackson down here to speak with us about this item.
Outside of item C being related, we don't have any updates to this item since last
Okay.
meeting.
Okay, perfect. Council, did you guys have any questions or comments regarding this item? No? Well, with that being said, then I make a motion that we approve item 24-061 as presented.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Hudson. It's been properly moved by the Chair, Councilmember Miller, and second by Councilmember Hudson to approve item 24-061. Do we have any other concerns, comments, or questions? I know we're getting some clarity about the next item. Okay, not seeing any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 24-061 is unanimously approved.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, and then item C says to consider a request for a variance. Sorry, I've got these pop-ups. Stop. Okay. To consider a request for a variance for section 4.08 of the UDO to reduce the minimum rear yard setback from 50 feet to 40 feet, and a variance to allow a canopy accessory structure to be placed at 30 feet in the front yard setback on Veterans Memorial Highway in Land Lot 744, District 18, Section 2, parcel IDs 0744-182-0013 and 0744-182-0018, application by Mickey Kapoor. And this is the item here that we're going to table to April 11th and 15th.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
To add a little more clarification, the original request for variance included the, allowing the canopy to be placed in the front yard at 30 feet, and then a rear yard setback variance from 50 feet to 25. Since then, the applicant has requested to reduce the variance for the rear yard from 25 to 40 feet, so it's the smaller reduction, but it also includes the site plan change. Staff is fairly diligent in reviewing the site plans. Multiple departments look at them. And since it's going to be a substantive change to the site plan, we wanted to have a more thorough review of the variance request again. We are choosing the 11th and 15th because of zoning procedures law, we also need to re-advertise since we're changing the variance request, and that will give us some more time to make sure that we're thorough in our review.
Thank you for that. Okay. Council, did you guys have any questions, comments regarding this item? Okay.
So tabled until,
It's going to be April 11th and 15th, yep. So with that being said, then I would like to make a motion that we table item 24-062 to the meetings of April 11th and 15th.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I have a motion to table item 24-062 to the meetings of April 11th and 15th, 2024. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Watts. It's been properly moved and second to table this item. Do we have any additional comments, concerns, or questions for the chair or for Ms. Jackson? I don't see any. All those in favor of not approving, but tabling this item to the meetings of April 11th and April 15th, 2024, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 24-062 is tabled to the April 11th and 15th meetings of 2024.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we do have one more item.
Mm-hmm.
That is to consider a petition to annex 0.82 acres on 11-941 Veterans Memorial Highway in Land Lot 744, District 18, Section 2, Parcel ID 0744-182-0013, application by Mickey Kapoor. And we still have Ms. Marissa Jackson, if you guys have any questions concerning this item. Yes, Coach.
so Ms. Jackson, if this is voted on and approved, this item, it's basically contingent on y'all's approval of B, basically, as y'all review.
Yes, because item B was the rezoning, so it will be annexed and zone general commercial.
Thank you.
Makes sense. Anyone else? No? Okay. Well, with that being said then, I make a motion that we approve item 24-072 as presented.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I have a motion to approve this item. Is there a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 24-072. Do we have any additional comments or questions outside of what Coach Watts asked? Thank you. I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 24-072 is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That is all
You're
that we
welcome.
have this evening.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Jackson. We'll move on to item 14, Public Improvement and Beautification Committee. That's also chaired by Councilmember Nicole Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business this evening for public improvement and beautification.
Thank you, ma'am. Public Relations Committee, chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
At this time, no business, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Davis. Public Safety Committee, chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Burdanley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight under public safety.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Recreation, Culture, and Tourism Committee, chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight in Recreation, Culture, and Tourism.
Thank you, sir. We'll move on then to Technology Committee, chaired by Councilmember Elena Hudson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Technology Committee this evening.
Thank you so much. Transportation Committee, chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Burdanley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under transportation tonight.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Do we have any other business to come before council tonight from the elected officials? I don't see any. So we'll move on then to updates from our city staff. Our city attorney, Mr. Joel Dotson.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Our staff attorney, Ms. Miranda Jordan.
No business, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Our chief of police, our deputy chief, J.R. Davison. We have anything?
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much, deputy chief. Our city manager, Ms. Marcia Hampton.
Just to remind you all that we do have an executive session following your meeting tonight.
Yes, ma'am. That's all you have, city manager. Okay. Now we have comments from citizens and delegates. If you sustain the meeting and you aren't staff, or even if you are staff and you're still a citizen, you want to come forward and ask us any questions or you have any concerns, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record, and you can address myself and council members. Thank you. It doesn't look like we have any takers, Councilman Davis can say. So if we don't have anything under comments from citizens and delegates, we will move on to item 23, which is an executive session. I will open the floor for a motion to adjourn into executive session to discuss a property acquisition. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you. I had dueling ones.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second. Moved by Mayor Pro Tem and second by Councilmember Estes to adjourn into executive session to discuss property acquisition. Do we have any concerns about that? Not seeing any. All those in favor of adjourning into executive session, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We are adjourned into executive session to discuss property acquisition. This meeting is adjourned to executive session.